In the rotunda of Rhodes House are in large gold Greek letters that says a good life is activity of soul in accordance with virtue. And I think for us, the retreats really aim to help scholars not only to sort of become leaders, but become ethical leaders. We have 3 intense days of readings and conversations around questions that sort of really plumb the depths of who we are and what we care about.
One of the most interesting exercises was what's called the privilege walk, where we all line up in a straight line and take a step forward, take a step back, for a whole range of abilities that mirror the societies that we live in, reflecting just about where we ended up and what that said about us and the community generally in relation to each other.
You're just coming out of a really successful context where you've sort of been on top of everything. And I think I expected that Rhodes House would sort of say, great, you're here, maintain that. And fundamental to both retreats is the understanding that you yourself will make a unique contribution and you need to consider the factors that will allow you to do that. Having often challenging and or tiring conversations, you can be exhausted at the end of the 3-day retreat, but it's so worthwhile.
It's easy at Oxford to be really, really busy, but we often don't take time to think about why we're doing what we're doing. So it really gives us a chance to think about why we're doing it, what we're learning from that process, and really why it matters. Because there's a danger for some scholars burning out. So if we want to sort of be leaders over the long haul, how do we have practices like reflection or self-care that enable us actually to preserve our own sense of balance and therefore be better equipped to serve the world?
I think the great part about the speaker series is really just that it pulls us all back into Rhodes House and it gets you back into the global mindset. What are the big issues that maybe I haven't touched in the library in the corner working on my narrow thesis project.
I've been leading a session called Ethics Through Fiction and Film. We actually read novels that have moral complexity as part of their narrative and think about how different characters in the novel respond to ethical difficulty and complexity.
Over the 3 days, people managed to reveal themselves and their vulnerabilities to each other, and I think that process of bonding was quite powerful.
I think the leadership program has made me more aware that a life of meaning and purpose is really connected to leading by example, and that has to do with the kind of micro-level decisions that you make day to day.
This year we went around the room and asked scholars to name one word they would say to actually capture the retreat for them. And what was striking to me is how many people said gratitude. And I think that sense of gratitude, being a part of a community here, is really the essence of these retreats. So I think for me, as a moderator and as a scholar, gratitude is what I felt after the end of the weekend.